Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the NASL studio. We got more action coming to you. First, I want to mention the YouTube account that we have, youtube.com/NAStarLeague. That's where you can find a lot of the action that you missed. Anything from the Team League or the Sunday show match, and also you can find NASL Season 1 and Season 2 VODs up there in 1080p quality. And if you haven't checked it out already on Reddit, on Team Liquid, it's all over there about how good the quality is. And definitely go check that out, because I think it's, right now, I believe it's the best 1080p quality in the scene. So go check it out on YouTube. For now, let's go ahead and get into the game. Excuse me, I want to actually mention the NSQ first before we go into the game. The NSQ that's coming up is the next season qualifier that will take place February 9th to March 3rd. More information can be found at nasl.tv. But this game is going to be featuring Inori from Team FXO up against Apocalypse from Quantic. And first I want to go over Quantic's Apocalypse, because we got our very own Quantic guy over here. Axeltoss, tell me a little about him.
Yeah, recently announced. He's actually been participating in team events for around a month. It's just we haven't got around to formally announcing it until quite recently. I want to say five or 6 days ago. But yeah, he's a really good player. He's not a household name. Not a lot of people think, okay, great Terran Korean player. Not a lot of people think Apocalypse, but this guy takes games off of MVP, NASTL, MC, all on the Korean ladder. He plays a lot. Extremely mannered guy. Please try to talk to this guy, because he knows a little bit of English and he's hilarious. He's just an awesome guy in general, and I couldn't be happier to have him on Quantic.
Yep, well, he's going up for what looks like a gasless fast expansion. That's normally what we see on Daybreak, because Daybreak is a very long map. It's quite hard to do any aggression, to mount any aggression for either of these races. So let's go ahead and see what the Protoss does in reaction. Sometimes we will see a second gas that gets popped down, but most likely we do see something of the 20 gate or the 26, or not 20 gate, 20 Nexus or the 26 Nexus, one of those two. But we'll see, or anything in between there as well.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly mention that Apocalypse also during the actual qualifier for this event, we didn't have Sase or Naniwa available, so pretty much Apocalypse was one of those guys in the qualifiers who just took the team on his back, and there were a lot of close calls, but eventually Quantic got through, and it's thanks to Apocalypse. Also, you got to mention Ag and of course Theognis and Inca had some clutch games in there, but truly a team effort in the qualifiers without arguably two of our best players.
Definitely, and we do see that there's the refinery first variation for Apocalypse coming out here. He's gone for the refinery before getting the additional 2 barracks and the bunker. Of course, the bunker normally does come a little bit later, just because this position, or rather the travel distance, is so extreme. But the first Stalker is going to walk up here. He needs to be careful. Yeah. Took a lot of pot shots from those Marines, and is just going to back off from now. But what this enables Apocalypse to do is actually get a very, very fast stim. And with the stim, or it might not be a stim, it could be a +1 as we're seeing right here, or it could be anything that is upgrade related. But this +1 weapons attack or the stim, there's 2 different variations that you do off of this, both of which will finish around the 8-minute mark. Not quite, well, not quite 8 minutes exact, but around that mark. And with that, you actually defend against all-ins very nicely, because you just pop your Marines into the bunkers. All of a sudden, they deal 7 damage instead of 6. That's a very, very big increase.
Yeah, very well said. And Apocalypse, this is a pretty cool build. He has a lot of Marines at the top of that ramp there. And I'm wondering if Inori can just guess that his opponent has a natural expansion, because looking at the minimap, looking at his vision, he doesn't necessarily know that is there. Now, he could easily wrap around and try to scoot by on the other ramp, but he hasn't done that just yet, hasn't sent a probe or anything. So do you think that Inori still thinks that this could be some sort of 1-1-1 play, or does he pretty much know it's impossible?
He knows it's impossible based on the fact that he knows that it was a gasless fast expansion, or gasless in the beginning phase. So it's either a Marine all in this beginning stage, or it's a fast expansion. And right there, that's actually a little bit scary because he saw a lot of Marines pop out. He doesn't actually know if this is going to be an all in or not. Yeah. So potentially do a lot of damage, but with all the sentries, I think it would be a big mistake if Apocalypse moved up here.
Oh, and he's actually moving up. Oh, getting trapped. A lot of his Marines, not the best decision making there. And Marines trying to target down some sentries there, but the weakened sentry getting knocked down. Inori was definitely trying to pull him back, but he was sniped away. I'm not saying that was worth it. I feel like Inori definitely got the better end of that engagement. And now Apocalypse is left in a little bit of an awkward situation where he has to get his army back up because he's down 60 to 44 supply. But, you know, he does have his natural expansion down, so it's not like he's on one base or anything. Definitely not out of this game just yet. Yeah,
I'm going to be brutally honest. That push made absolutely 0 sense. Especially with the build that he's doing. +1 just finishes, so all those units would have had +1 if he attacked a little bit later, but still, that wouldn't make much sense because really, Daybreak is just so big. Your opponent knows that they're doing that. You're going to push up into this small little choke. All that needs to happen is, again, sentries just cut you off. He didn't really have that much DPS, and he was able to take out all of those Marines. Really, really unfortunate. That puts Apocalypse back on the back foot. And if there was something like 6 gate pressure right here, he would be absolutely dead. There's nothing he can do. He's just dead. Thankfully, he's not. And a third base for Inori is actually going to be made. And this could only be made because of the fact that he's gotten map control at this weird stage when he isn't used to getting map control. And he also has a big army lead.
Yeah, Inori, he has the reins right now. He can basically do pretty much whatever he wants, and Apocalypse can't do much about it because he lost all those Marines early on in the game. And Inori has a substantial supply lead and army advantage, also adding on that third. So Inori definitely in a great situation. Looks like he's researching Blink, also adding in some sentries, a Zealot, and 3 additional gateways. Meanwhile, Apocalypse adding on an additional barracks, has a reactored starport on the field, so he can start churning out those medevacs and try to go for some drop play if he so pleases. But that Blink research will make the drop play a little bit more difficult than it would be if Blink did not exist, because, well, the stalkers can just blink underneath any medevacs that are trying to go for a drop. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and whether or not Apocalypse decides to do that.
One of the main things you have to watch out for when you're Protoss are those all-in pushes when it's just Mass Marine Marauder medevacs. And that's why we always see some sort of Colossus play or Immortal play in the earlier stages, or Super Mass Gateways, I should mention that.
Yeah.
We don't see any of those, and the reason why goes all the way back to those Marines dying in this beginning stage. Inori didn't have to, and that's why he's been so greedy getting such a fast Blink Stalker. He's probably going to shut this down so easily. Guardian Shield's going to pop, and then he can blink up. Are we going to see it? Yeah, there's the blink up. Wow. Can he actually get the medevacs down? No, he does not. But obviously now going into a corner, Apocalypse is absolutely in a terrible position.
Yeah, this he's going to lose all of this, and that's not good at all. Inori once again getting the better of Apocalypse in another engagement before the 12-minute mark of this game. I guess Apocalypse does get out with the medevac, but yeah, not the engagement obviously that Apocalypse was looking for at all. Moved and got his army trapped in Inori's natural fourth. Again, I gotta question the decision making as of right now of Apocalypse. Going for that early Marine push didn't make much sense. Going for that little push into the third, you know, not the best decision either. Inori was sitting there. He was ready and he was waiting.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to actually fully engage. That army was actually just supposed to gain map control and kind of threaten some sort of drop play in the main or something like that, but he didn't do anything. He went for a straight up attack. Of course, he didn't want to. He wasn't expecting his opponent to have Blink Stalkers, but just the worst possible way that he can do this. And now Apocalypse is going to lose another medevac, and nothing is going well for him. He's probably, I don't know if he's completely dead right here, but he's definitely looking like he can't stop just this gateway army.
Yeah, I mean, Inori just slowly just picking away unit after unit of Apocalypse's unit composition. And he's doing it well. Inori playing this very well right now. Keep in mind, these two teams are tied 1-1. Whoever wins this game will give a pretty good advantage to their team, meaning they would have to only win one more game to secure the victory for their team. That being said, though, Inori adding on an additional gateway. Actually, the gateway does not yet have warp gate. He has one gateway that is not a warp gate just yet. Has a robo on the field. I don't see a robo bay, so it doesn't look like he wants to go into Colossi production just yet, unless I'm just completely blind. But instead, focusing on mass gateway upgrades and just getting out a lot of gateway units.
I like that. I mean, obviously, just taking advantage of his map control. He doesn't really have to get those power hitting units. He can focus on his upgrades, which are actually longer lasting. Gives you better timings, of course. Obviously, straight up fights will go towards Inori. We're sitting at 153 supply to 119, so he does have the army advantage. Just he's not doing anything with it just yet. He's getting the economic lead, which of course is always good, but I think if he engages right here, there's no stopping him, and we might see it right now. Nope. You know,
so Brave Marine. Brave Marine going forward, but he's going to die incredibly fast. And now Inori going toward those rocks, pecked a little bit at those, but going to be backing away. And if I was Inori, I wouldn't be afraid at all to engage this. He has an observer over the army, and that's so backing away. Nah, I don't know what he's afraid of, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why Apocalypse is being just so...
I know.
So bold with this, and Inori is being so passive with this. But another warping comes with the Zealots, and we might see the fight now. He's waiting for, I guess, the ground level 2, and there it goes. It's about to hit. Force fields go up, but I don't think that's the best force field because he has mainly Zealots in this army.
Yeah.
He can't get a really good force field. There's another round of force fields, but look at this. There's just so many units, but still a lot more Zealots died than I think should have. And Apocalypse is still going to lose this fight. A Blink should... There it is. Blink follows up, takes out the Medivacs, and this is going to be just an onslaught. He should push forward to the natural, but he's not going to.
Yeah, that was, again, not a good engagement for Apocalypse. I mean, Inori, once again, showing the strength of, you know, mass gateway units. Not a lot of people like to do that, you know, favoring Colossi before going for an engagement like that. But we saw Inori, you know, taking advantage of his advantage, just continually making those gateway units and just crushing Apocalypse's army. Sure, force fields weren't perfect, but, you know, you can afford to not have perfect force fields when you're that far ahead.
Yep, and it looks like the third is barely minor. Let's go ahead and look at the income tab. 78 harvesters, 62. So Inori is slightly over the probe count that he wants to have, but still, I mean, he's at a point where they're constantly trading before 200, so it shouldn't matter. If anything, it actually helps him out a lot more because he can reproduce his army a lot faster. So whereas we move forward, I think Inori should start to transfer those probes into, obviously, gateway units or Colossus or something like that. But for now, you know, Inori is in a gigantic advantage.
Yep, up 180 to 145 supply. Actually, double robo producing all Colossi. Has High Templar Storm on the way, so going for that optimal late game Protoss Death Ball composition against Terran, which involves Archons, Colossi, and High Templar, and of course plenty of supplemental gateway units. But you know, he's just turning this comfortable lead into trying to win the game, not trying to do anything too crazy, just you know, playing quite steadily. I mean, I feel like, again, actually, hold that thought. Looks like he wants to go for an engagement in the national expansion of Apocalypse. This is a nice timing because he just got Max trying to back up, trying to get his Colossi in the fray. Apocalypse is stimming, trying to spread out his units to minimize the splash damage from those Colossi, but it's not even gonna matter. Inori has so much stuff. Force fielding absolutely everything. Marines and Marauders condensed into little balls and comfortably rubbing shoulders, only to be fried down by those Colossi beams, and it looks like Inori is going to take this game.
Yeah, Inori just finishes, or excuse me, Apocalypse just finishes 3-3, but Inori is able to take out everything before that actually upgrades, now finally getting his own third upgrade. GG Yo comes out. Apocalypse will fall, which gives Inori the win. So that does mean Team Rain will go up 2-1. A little bit of a nail-biting series here. You know, this is going to be match point, obviously, for Team Rain. But thoughts, Axel, on your loss?
Well, you know, seeing the Protoss army just roll over the Terran army, at first I was sad, but then Apocalypse said GG, yo. And that just made me smile a little bit because, again, he's picking up little English, you know, caricatures or whatever, sayings. It's just a little funny tidbit at the end there. But yeah, Inori, you know, played that extremely well. I feel like it was more Apocalypse just not playing up to his standards. I mean,
three awful attacks, man.
Yeah, engagement after engagement, he just completely lost the majority of his army. And, you know, it happens. And Inori taking advantage of that fact, getting out a great army, never really making any mistakes. And he deserved that win.
Yep. So congratulations. We're going to move into our fourth game, which I said is match point for Team Rain. So everybody sit tight. We'll be back after this commercial break with more NASTL action.